he's maybe going to get some pressure. They've got a lot of options to take this mound space with the fade, with the omen, with the raise. See what they got dialed up, or if they're just going to try to dry peek this corner.
Who's going to be ready with a paranoia? Try to stave them off. On up and over the top, going to be a quick little clear there. Last pack exit. I believe Boo in a spot where he can try to catch somebody off guard, but
placing swarm grenade.
Instead, it's going to be a pivot cross now
out.
Towards a lobby here for Wolves.
Yeah, they, in their last pistol round, Wolves spread the map and had Lysor solo plant on B and kind of crumbled underneath Sen. So let's see if they try to stick together a little bit more on this one. All it took was that blast pack, and that was enough to make them think that the other side of the map was going to be better. A bit of noise made here, door open.
Do you read and expect a little double stack? Looks like a push forward in towards Tree. Not going to be coming through, so Spring maybe not going to be caught here in the trap, but good. Let's end up hearing two players in that position. Paranoia through. YU going to be held at bay here for the moment as paint shells go through, and now they're once again going to have to put the crossover on towards this A side. The vulnerable there, bounding forward. Lysor able to find the first. Juicy gets a second. Benji, Fishy, and Rienz have been flushed out. Weapons upgraded time ticking down, but still plenty.
10 seconds left.
To get the spike in play. 3v4 now for the retake with Winnie Boo. Down to 22, back turn, and YU now striking on the flank. Spots out another one, goes unpunished. Boo desperately trying to get himself over towards the site to spray into the smoke. Not finding much, but Boo comes away with a second kill. Right clicks here, able to find them as Juicy gets himself a 3K, and Wolves continue to deny pistol wins from the Heretics.
Okay, now I'm concerned. Now I'm concerned for Heretics. Things are just not going their way on these pistols, and it is the Wolves looking so smart in this round. I think learning from their mistakes against Sentinels, making sure that they're sticking together, being really sure of the space that they've been given. And again, it comes off the back of CU Fat, the way that he's using that fade util to clear a site, to call the reinforcements over to go for that plant.
They did drop the anti-eco at the second half of
Fair.
So still going to be a concern, as there is going to be a very heavy death ball coming their way, but high-low setup here. Wolves are anticipating this.
Just one Sheriff for Rienz. That's the only buy-up this time around for Heretics. Marshall.
He's dead over at the A side of the map. Some noise to be made. Paranoia going to be sent. Prowler getting a catch onto one. Swing out. Spike
down.
Here in the hands of this player. Going to get dropped, but Lysor swinging around the side. Gets a fadeaway shot onto Benji Fishy with the final bullet. Push forward, looks for a little bit more, but will be Spring to take it away. Two casualties, a bit of damage going to be dealt here, but Wolves this time not dropping the anti-eco.
Yeah, all in all, you're not too fussed about that as the Wolves. A few kills there for Heretics, but the trap didn't really convert into any further damage. Let's see this. Wow,
Timing.
Spring, just a timing, yeah. The guy just is so dialed in.
And on his reads.
Enemy remaining.
That's a nice readjustment there from Lysor, too, to find that headshot. He's got the fist pumping for fade.
If he doesn't, I mean, you're looking at only two players surviving. Hell of a worse feeling going into this bonus as they look for a conversion. Turret set up for contact in B.
Here's a gun that gave Heretics a lot of problems.
Spots him out. Juicy, good amount of damage going to be in there on the entry. Paint shells lobbed in. Boombot similarly to try to scout. Doesn't want to try to push this angle towards Baby Door with the judge in hand. Somebody's able to find one, but Spring does get rid of Boot, so a trade on the fades at the end of it all. Spike now planted, 4v4. A couple players, though, tagged up quite low on the side of Wolves.
This Judge still in play. Right around the corner.
Smoke going to be cycled in. Spring going to be taken down. And Juicy does manage to find one. Lysor gets the other player, Baby Door. Now it's just the double approach. Get through the connector. Lysor, they're just getting spammed out through the smoke. The push forward. Benji going to be good for two as he does find YU, but Juicy with another 3K. 2 charges from having his showstopper online. And a bonus conversion as Wolves start things off 3-0 once again.
I'm loving what we're seeing from the Wolves today. I can feel the confidence that FaZe was telling me about before the map even started. It is the way that they are working together, the way that they're holding these crossfire angles. They're putting the right guns in the right spot. They're spamming at the right time. They're understanding their opponents so well. They have such a good read, and it is just another hot start on the attacker side for Juicy. He has been a world.
Oh my
No
goodness,
way!
Spring. Looking for a little bit more, does find some damage. They're still gonna try to shove forward, overwhelm, and eventually they will be able to do so. YU is gonna stop them from getting value off of his fallen comrade's weapon. It's a kill onto one, gets a spot onto Woot, still swings out for the challenge. Looking for the kill, will not be able to find it. Rien's trying to hold things down here at C, but it's just too much opposition. Once again, 4-0 start for Wolves.
His Wolves team is looking to make an upset. They are just fearsome. I mean, Spring. Mechanical God there. Got the dink and got the fade away as he was going back behind the toxic screen. And Lysor winning one on the other side. Sure, Spring ends up going down, but YU on the job to make sure that that gun's not recovered and there's no big problems behind it. Now you've got a showstopper for Juicy. Let's see if they're going to go for it right off a rip.
Season 8 avoided. Minor little slow up here on the approach.
Tremendous patience being shown.
Trying to figure out exactly what their angle of approach is going to be here. One little shot through the one-way. YU does get a connection onto Miniboo. In the meantime, Spring a lurk forward towards the A orb.
That's so scary. And he's going to not hear much, not see much. So they're going to try to readjust into that direction. Try to open themselves up for a pivot, but I like the way Heretics is maneuvering to try to cut this off.
Showstopper up and over the top, dodging this out. And Rien's out into the open, just no way to escape. Juicy finds the kill. Benji Fishy, however, plays forward into the smoke. Gets a catch on the Lysor. Gets the spike on the floor for a brief little moment as the C's goes at him. But now the call can come through from YU. Pivot into B. The site is open. So Baby Door will get broken. So Fat Baby just going to stay tucked here at tree. Looking for the linger, looking for this backstab play. They're suspicious about it, but do they have the read? They're going to try to double clear him. They nearly line up. In the end, the trade is there, a 3v3. The health advantage in the hands of Wolves.
Not much util to speak of. A couple blast packs and a haunt.
I'll find you.
Benji can find one that would give him a lockdown. Hate to have to commit that here. Won't get the opportunity. Builds up the ultimate in depth. There's two players surviving. Wolves 5-0.
It's just tremendous patience being shown by the Wolves. Not at just the beginning of the round to avoid the C's nade, a little thing like that, but then the pivot over off of the space that Spring is taking. And when Heretics tries to collapse, Heretics has 2 on B, 2 on A. They're ready for this A hit to try to get some flanks going. They're able to find this showstopper and then realize, whoa, 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 there's way too much going on. Benji Fishy already here behind the pillar on site. Let's go over to B. We think that might be open now. And it is a beautiful call again. I mean, see you fat.
Prowler going to be cleared. Up and over the top goes Juicy, and Benji Fishy will be able to sit him down. Entry power taken out of their hands here. So that is the best possible start to the round here for the side of Heretics.
Yeah, this is probably one of those rounds where Wolves are just feeling it, feel like they can do whatever they want on the map, but Juicy all on his own when he got into the site. Gonna try to pivot towards B a bit.
Miniboo, though, with the retuck, gets himself on the side. They're going to try to go for the 90-degree clear outs. Can't find either of them. Miniboo standing tall. It was
30
Fat
seconds
Baby
left.
last one standing, so it seems like Heretics here will at long last get themselves a round win. There's a long road ahead of them, but being able to get this just on rifling, just on util, not on ultimates, that is a big boon for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And still, they could do a lot of damage in this defender side. Yes, Wolves already have 6, but you can run 4-5 in this one. You're going to be feeling okay going into your attacker side. So this is a good start. Good first foot forward for the Wolves. Or excuse me, for the Heretics. And the Wolves going to have to try to figure out a little bit of what they want to do. You're one away from the Nightfall, and then you've got a lockdown of your own. So Viper's Fit as well. So you've got a lot of counter punches, and immediately a timeout is ripped.
Yeah, Wolves are calling a timeout.
Wow.
Enemy remaining.
And
I mean, I think
Round by round, we have to build the castle, you know, brick by brick.
absolutely. Absolutely. But I think to me, this is just some of the things that I saw in the VODs when I was watching the Wolves is when they start getting these like individual plays, when they try to go for these big moments where they don't necessarily have the right information, they don't necessarily have their right setups or kind of understanding of where their opponents are, and they just try to make something, they just try to force a play.
yeah, I think this is just one of those things where it's like, okay, I can hear the players talking. I think they're getting a little bit antsy. They're not sticking to the structure that we had set up ahead of time coming into this series. So I want to intervene and make sure that we're sticking to the script. But it does also give the coaching staff from Heretics the opportunity to get back in the players' ears and, you know, feed them information based on what they've witnessed. So it does come at a risk. We'll see what happens coming in off the back of this one. There's plenty of ults available here to both sides. One charge away for a Nightfall.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be looking at a very similar array of ultimates for both teams potentially. Just depends on if they're able to get an orb or a plant over for CU Fat or even a kill. They're going back to this 4-1 setup that they love to run at the beginning of the rounds. Again, Seasonade combo attempted early. Rian's just waiting for the pit, and he's going to rip it. See what the response is going to be. Are they going to go for
lockdown? I mean,
yeah,
could just be lockdown for lockdown stalemate here on the C site.
Calling my bot. Initiated.
And that is exactly what is going to happen. And
Swarm grenade.
if you're Wolves, you say, okay, we get 2 ults out of you, we can get 1 out of us, we back away. This is giving up a good amount of space and control over towards a site, though. Rubble firmly in the hands here of Heretics.
You're not going to fall for the detain bait.
This has dropped the pit. Why you just hits us straight onto Rien, so even if the pit hadn't already fallen, certainly would have now.
Oh, and they dodged the Nightfall, too. They had backed out a mound.
But now that they've dodged that, that could force the pivot from Heretics. They might take this as false information. Blew up and over the top. Spike is going to be brought over towards this side, it would seem. As it's just going to be a TP into the site to get the plant down and
30
spring.
seconds left.
Flushes out Boo. Benji and Wu, in all likelihood, should just try to go for the save here. Looks like Wu will at least take a peek.
One enemy
He
remaining.
will be noted and dealt with at the door. Benji Fishy has to just walk away. Wolves, the timeout call. It ends up working a treat.
Coming back.
It's brilliant. I mean, just the way that they immediately are ready to counter that Viper's pit. And you said it, 2 for 1. That's just a wonderful timeout call there by Fade. Reading into Team Heretics very nicely. And then they're able to work to the other side of the map. That TP from Lysor really opens things up for them. Spring wins a big duel against Boo. He has just been so reliable. He is just an absolute menace over there on A, whether he's just creating attention or setting up for the lurks, getting information. And then on the other side here, just the timing. Just the timing. Rien's had knife out and just running forward. Got cut down. There's Spring.
One enemy remaining.
Nettie's over there. YU holding the line. That's what you love to see from the Wolves. Just smart play. We know they can shoot. And they're looking for some kind of maybe fast B hit here.
Toxins going up.
Find into the side, try to get a pinch on anybody who might be hit with a vulnerable. It's going to be the Boom bot chasing over towards Mini Boo.
To get the Season 8 out again.
Ultimately, they're going to be happy with that. Smoke about to dissipate. Boo going to try to cycle this one back through. Is Nightfall going to be committed on to B? Quick little pick out. Boo comes away with 2. Spring and YU both going to be taken down. Fat Baby concerned about a potential push out from Mound.
Sent the Nightfall, tried to sell a fake. They do have a heavy rotation over to this A side. Now they may be challenging Benji.
And still full util setup. Double nano in the alarm bot. Situated here on the entryway. Turret gets cleared though. That draws the attention of Benji Fishy back over towards B. Peek into the connector. Paranoia from Lysor at the ready, but will end up going wide.
You know
He's
he's in.
coming down, dodges the Haunt. Smoke going to be coming through. Juicy pressured here from
30
multiple
seconds
angles
left.
now. Fights back in, finds the first, tries to look for a little bit more. Was trying to go for a 180 flick, but does end up getting picked off there by Rienz. 2v3 now. Benji tagged to 72. This would be a back-breaking round loss for Heretics.
They don't have any util. Just gonna have to dry peek through.
Lysor should be dead on this angle if he swings out. Shots flying his way. Smoke set up to push into the smoke, and maybe unable to find the shots, and they know exactly where the Omen is at. Push forward, Woot winning out the fight. 3 players surviving. Heretics find their second round win.
Yeah, just Boo this time, taking matters into his own hand over at A Rubble. Gets those 2 huge kills. Snappy shots from the IGL of Heretics.
Seconds left.
That really opens up a lot of space for them. Good work by the Wolves to find some open of their own, but numbers were not in their favor.
Nice! Let's go, guys. Let's go. 5 rounds and we're Gucci, okay?
Yep, absolutely. I would totally agree. If they can string 3 in a row now, you're going to feel good about it. Still sitting on the Viper's Pit for Spring, but plenty of money for the Rifles for the side of Wolves. Another big A contest here.
Uh-oh, this time, Wolves not quite ready for it. Sees Nate gets the catch. Spray down on the Juicy, 2 players dead off the rip of the round. Heretics very well poised to get that 3rd round win now.
Finally, it comes through for Heretics.
And even if you start making this close, Miniboo has the showstopper. So as long as he's not dead early, that is going to be a hefty concern. The high-low here on the corner. That baby just trying to clear out this util. Prowler around the back. Not going to note anyone.
There's just nothing being given up here by the Heretics. They've got everything on lockdown. Complete map control in their favor. This one looks extremely difficult to do. Alarm bot right on the other side there for this double stack.
Alarm bot cleared. Spots them both down. Finds the first, finds the second. Showstopper going to be sent. And that's going to be Spring and
30
YU
seconds left.
dead simultaneously. Tuck around the corner here. Two Fat Baby now in a 1v3.
No way.
1-7-3 here at the moment. Swings in, spots the first, tries to get the transition, cannot do so. Sees grabbing him, trying to pull him in a little bit deeper, but Spike just cannot be planted fast enough. Woot will arrive, they make a good run of it, they make it close, but Heretics will get the round win all the same. 3-7 now, still, that's 7-5, a possibility.
Yeah, if you can get these early advantages, Team Heretics are good for it. Just finally able to find that timing, find that moment. Wolves decided to try to turn up the tempo a little bit at the start of the round when the barriers dropped. I mean, geez, YU. That is brilliant work from that angle. Showstopper was there,
Nice, good job.
and it's the one that takes him out.
Bro, that was unfortunate. Like,
So I think I'd like to see Wolves pump the brakes a little bit here. Take things a little bit slower. See if they can find their open space on the map. Uh-oh.
They went from reading these to disrespecting them and being punished by it.
Shadows traveling.
Oh,
They
boy.
dead. Off the very start, YU getting spammed down through the Viper wall at B. It's another rocky start to the round here.
And now you have no ability to gather info. You're just going to have to brute force your way through something. Taking their time.
Cover going out.
Benji's been a thorn in their side.
Creep across, Nano gonna be sent out. He's gonna be able to find lights at the same time. Benji Fishy holding down this C site. YU try to grab this orb and gets the ult, either with this or in death, but this way he can try to go for a save perhaps.
Absolutely would like to save.
So he's just gonna creep up, see if he can spot anything
30
out.
seconds left.
Challenge into the smoke. Well, it goes out deeper, but yeah, just nothing realistically to be done here in this position. Heretics, once again, coming alive, starting to run things back. A fourth round win.
You can't get
10
caught by
seconds
these
left.
season nades anymore. Got to wait out the beginning of the round a little bit. You know, I know there that maybe you think you're safe. Oh, hold the phone.
Won't be able to find a little kill here onto Woot, but nobody else really in position to try to find a punish. So, well, you've got to be fine to go ahead and hold on to his weapon here. I mean, Lifeswar able to escape, but getting a bit too antsy here. Get too aggressive. It's
One
costing him
enemy.
dearly.
Benji, really, really good here on this Seaside defense in a couple of these rounds. Able to find a ton of impact. Nano's in good spots. Positioning, excellent. He has been really annoying to deal with for the Wolves. Do have a Nightfall, but for Woot on the side of Heretics. Showstopper though for Juicy. Lockdown as well. Of course, still that Viper's Pit for Spring. No season aid this time. Patience being shown here by Heretics. They've dipped into that well enough. They've gotten their value.
Lockdown going to be sent here off the rip. Brienne's going to try to reposition, wants to take a more aggro position here. There's a showstopper now going to be invested. Some damage going to be suffered, but Rienne's still able to find one before getting taken down. Nobody paying the Nightfall out in response. That's going to connect onto absolutely everyone here on the side of Wolves. As many people goes chasing forward, gets himself here on the site, and they don't know what's hitting them. A blink and you miss it retake. Heretics deny the plant and they rescue the half.
And that is exactly what the Heretics needed. That is what the doctor ordered. They are right back in this thing.
The Wolves are going to be kicking themselves given the lead that they had established. 6-0 at a point. We'll see though, Pistols have been on their side. We'll see if that continues when we come back after halftime.
Down, C. One enemy remaining.
As they look to take this all the way to Ascent.
Just the alarm bot at the front of the door, the turret over at B. 3 players over at A, but there's a smoke there slowing them down.
Nano going to be lobbed in here as they try to go for the entry. Prowler just block out some of these bullets though. YU forced to reposition. Milk can take it down. Woot there through the wall. Cuts him down to size. 3v5 now, looking for the retake, and overall, players on Heretics still pretty damn healthy. It's just Miniboo down to 54.
Toxins going up.
This has to be crazy from the side of Wolves. Still have the paranoia. Still have the haunt.
Wall will fall. Paranoia to try to clear out the close angles here, but no one going to get blinded up by that. A paint shell available for Juicy. Sends that around the bend. Miniboo going to eat even more damage, now down to 18. The kills still not yet being found. Lineup is there though. Juicy finding 2. Pushes forward into the smoke. Who able to flush him out. Lifeswar now all alone. Gets the reload off the smoke. Gone. Tries to line it up. Finds the headshot. But needs to go for the stick here. Tries to go for the turn. Benji Fishy. He's going to try to just jump shot him here with a ghost. He's just able to make it happen. Benji Fishy barely gets them over the line. As Heretics will find their first pistol win of the tournament.
That's as close as it gets. It's a great opener here off the back of the fade util. Miniboo just hold a W. And take Spring with him. And then Woot through the wall. They know they've got YU pinned on the stairs. Just barely gets the wallbang headshot. And that is an absolute nail by Neil Zeno.
Yeah, they're just stressing out, and I cannot blame them.
Trying to find some grounding. Oh, man. Huge, huge for Heretics.
I mean, it's very necessary to instill some hope.
Screen down.
Some pressure over towards C. Lysor going to be caught. Bounces out of the snake bite, but eats so much damage, down to 22.
There.
Really wants to do everything he can to keep that hidden position, but I don't think
spotted.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I mean, Renz maybe now thinks that it's clear, but given the smoke, you Have to assume that he could still be in that spot.
Toxins going up.
He's definitely wary of it.
Door chipped away at. Prowler not going to be able to go deep enough to actually fully clear it out, but if Miniboo sends a paint shell, he will almost certainly have the Omen dead.
Is it? Yeah, now you know.
Well, yep, got the re-reveal. There's the old C's nade, and Lysor's dead. Overkill? Maybe, but still able to go ahead and lock that one in. Boot on entry, right click to the face, not going to be able to find the elimination. As it's just going to be Juicy left alone. Let's see if he is going to be able to find any kind of damage here. Is that Miniboo likely going to be sent out on the hunt? Yep, does get the swap on the Ghost. 3 charges from having a showstopper online. And jiggle out. He'll get 1 charge no matter what. And he'll get it in a kill as he keeps himself alive. Flawless round here in the anti-eco. Heretics have now tied us up at 7-7.
Yeah, the methodology here for Heretics is A+, no notes. That is just so diligent. Making sure that that trick position never comes to fruition. I mean, maybe there was a chance there for Spring, but able to crouch down, hold it down. Miniboo finds the final.
Juicy.
A little tap of the monitor. So you can see you back and find some energy there.
2-12-3. It's been a brutal run for him.
I mean, a guy who is so impactful in the fragging department. Deep nano being set up, but right at the door is the nano and the alarm bot here for Wolves.
He's going to be avoided as YU and Spring able to find 1 apiece. Solid start trying to shut down a bonus conversion, but they're not ready for Boo to be here. Paranoia not going to connect though, and Spring will mow down the remainders.
In the dirt.
Gets himself a 4K and saves the round from being catastrophic. Just the 1 casualty as Wolves regain the lead.
Yeah, just a nice classic C setup here. Some of that util at the front door to stall things up. One player up on the platform, another at the stairs. Set up that crossfire. Spring, given those opportunities, will collect most of the time. And let's get on your feet, see if you can get the energy going. Right now, feels like it is all Heretics. They have really come alive. Miniboo is the showstopper as well. And they want to use that C's nade to try to see if they could catch it early, but Team Heretics not even thinking that direction.
But it does buy them space for Juicy to grab the Orbit A, so now he himself is 1 away from having a showstopper online. So things could get a bit chaotic here if he's able to find it. Same nano lineup up and over the top. Looking for the setup here as the showstopper gets pulled and Miniboo's immediately dealt with. Response, however, from his big brother, still looking good. Gets himself a double kill as Rienz finds another. 1 HP, but this plant can come through.
Spike planted.
Spamming, looking to try to find any kind of stray kill, but it's able to be avoided. Rewrap needed as Lysor rotates around towards the back. You see trying to entry here from the front. Alarm bot giving away at least 1 position. Moves forward into the smoke. Paranoia. Gonna be good for 2 players. Bounce around the corner. Showstopper now gonna be sent. Knows that he's gonna be close. Finds the kill. Another paint shell built up. Sent. Thrown here at his feet. And Juicy absolutely demolishes.
That is unreal. Unreal from Juicy. For a moment, I thought they might consider a save. But Juicy's having none of it. And that Paranoia, absolutely perfect. It doesn't get any better than that from Lysor. The opener here, a little bit of a misguess at the beginning of the round. The Killjoy util, a lot of it was actually at the front of B site here for the Wolves. So that actually opened up this extra space, and Heretics are able to just flood through and get that man advantage. But these are these rounds for the Heretics where they commit a little bit of extra of their economy, something that can cost them if they can't convert, but they have so much confidence in their own ability. Let's see if they can get it done.
Your lone flash now gone. An escorting utility of the Paranoia taken out of their hands. potential pivot into B, given that they do have Benji Fishy kind of lingering his way in. If he's able to hit a heater of a Sheriff shot here, will just be the clear on the KJ turret instead as he backs off.
And now you've got a hell of a pinch set up. If this does turn into an A hit, the Wolves are just trying to keep it hidden. Still have the C's in CU Fat's hands. Just trying to wait this out. Let maybe Benji Fishy try to create a little bit of attention on the other side of the map.
Spotted out though.
30 seconds left.
Manages to hold him back. This flank not going to be able to come to fruition. Taps the door. We still have Spring hovering nearby to try to watch that. Benji re-wrapping his life sword. Able to find one. Does eventually get flushed out the Vandal, finding value. Hands comes away with the kill. Miniboot up and over the top of rope. Finds a kill there. Is Spike Plant going to be interrupted? And now it's on the floor. Spring going absolutely monstrous. A tap of the plant. The time. It's just not there. It's already over. YU has to do nothing else. Wolves get to double digits.
None of my stuff has not.
Spring is unbelievable. The game sense that he has. His mechanics are gorgeous, but his ability to just pivot on a dime here. And this opening kill for Lysor, very nice. He gets a second. Then I was a bit worried the forces were pulled over. Look at this from Spring. One
enemy remaining.
That is otherworldly.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Just turned around and shot the other guy. And now, to add insult to injury, there's an Odin in the mix here from Lysor. Wanting to tell them, nope, not this site.
Heavy investment, though, for the Wolves. Heretics can get this round.
Placing swarm grenade.
They might be able to start turning the economy advantage into their favor. Sending out some smokes. Again, trying to buy as much attention as they can on this C side. It worked a bit, actually. They pulled some players off of A. It opened up a little bit of space for them. They just got shut down by Spring and Lysor.
Nano to clear some nanos there at C. Alarm bot's going to be set up. Staring at each other. As the Odin continuously ringing out. However, 52 rounds remaining for Lysor.
Cover going out.
It's a little bit of damage there on the Miniboo, but certainly not the big value that he wanted to get from this Odin as he continues to run lower and lower on bullets. Push forward towards the door. Juicy going to try to hold things down here.
Oh, what a paranoia.
The paranoia locks him in position. Left. Hasn't seen anything though. The gun barrel just on the side. The swing in. Miniboo wins the fight. The B site here almost for the taking, but YU on the repeat. Catches the enemy raise there in midair. Fight not going to go deep enough to be able to get the hit there on the Woots of the Spike Plant can be committed to. Hit now, blocking off Baby Door. As Lysor says, all right, I'll just reposition. TP's towards upper, joins in alongside to shoot that baby. Spring finds one. Benji Fishy going to be taken down. Two of the remaining players here inside of the pit. Push around in from behind, looking to try to find the Viper, and they found him. Just Boo now to try to clutch it out. Push on the smoke, and he cannot find it. YU with covering fire.
My ultimate is ready.
Allows them to get the defuse. Wolves 2 rounds away from sending Heretics home.
They are so cool, calm, and collected in this retake. A nice opener there, but then a response from YU. The pit is down, and who else but Spring to knock the first player out. And then he realizes where that Viper is. His other teammates are dying for the cause. They're trading along the way. And he knows exactly where Rienz was to get that kill. And then boom. I thought maybe he might get the timing there. They weren't guessing initially in the right direction, but YU spins on a dime.
And Miniboo's dead off the rip. The CZ combo doing wonders. Lysor will get caught as Boo. Able to trade it back, find some revenge here for his brother. Again, it's such a critical pick. The entry power gone. Now ults may have to be committed, where previously they could be saved.
Now you can let C be a little more open. It's so much harder to take C without a raise. You can commit these forces to this A side. Obviously, you know they're there. Obviously, they've been making a bunch of noise. can lean a little bit further in that direction. Get that lockdown ready. YU going to be sitting on that ultimate, just waiting for his opportunity. With this turret being cleared. A little bit of another kind of fake here from Benji.
Here the Prowler, good spam out. Reading that spot behind the tree. Juicy does fall. Player advantage now here for the side of Heretics.
Face your fear!
So Nightfall will go across. It's going to connect on the two. Spring, shoot that baby both. Getting their audio taken away from them, holding on a wider angle. The C's not quite going to be able to connect. Woot desperately trying to get a breakthrough. YU at the same time has arrived, has a lockdown, but might not want to commit it into the round quite just yet. Plant coming in, Spring trying to run this down, trying to get the interrupt, is unable to do so. Looks to try to isolate, but it's just too many targets. 4 players alive. Heretics, a very solid bounce back. They break the win streak from Wolves. They slow the pace a bit.
They're just sort of able to outguess some of these positions. Sees Nate early. A nice TP from Boo. Through the smoke, catches his opponent, his other Omen counterpart off guard, and Lysor.
One down.
And then they're just swarming the site. That Nightfall brilliant gives them all the information they need to calmly move their way forward. Get in there. It's going to be of eco here for the side of Wolves. Just one Bulldog for YU. Mini Boot going to grab an Outlaw then, knowing the economic situation that his opponents are in, and it will be one shot onto every player of Wolves.
Turret down!
Turret going to be cleared out. I mean, a 5-man death ball push out towards Mound, forcing Penchy Fishy away and back in with the rest of the team. Trying to get a retake going from here. Going to prove to be rather difficult. See if they're going to be able to make a go of this. It's just YU back through the defender spawn. Everybody else pushing forward in towards A lobby. Penchy Fishy going to be good for one. The Paranoid connecting, holding down M1, runs out of bullets. Flops over onto the Classic. It's a right-click kill. Juicy will be able to put him down. Weapon now scooped up. This Prowler will go on the chase, but with the drop down, Mini Boo
Gun here.
finds the kill, spots out the other.
Remaining.
And it's going to be 2 easily delivered eliminations. So YU is going to try to drift out of this poison orb, but doesn't quite have vision. Rienz cleans it up. 1 casualty, another round win. Heretics 2 away from tying it up. This map is not done yet.
This has been another solid comeback for the Heretics. Are they going to be able to find a little bit more, just like they did in the first half? See if they can catch up, close it out, force overtime. Who knows? Benji playing that angle very, very nicely, and this Outlaw is such a powerful spot. Just gets tons of value. Nothing YU can do there. So no, thought maybe there'd be a timeout considered. Back into the Odin. Spring, along with YU.
Holding wide. It's tucked back over in towards the site, though. Not taking any risks, nor are Heretics, given the pre-fire on the box.
Some early rotations, though, from the Wolves. Double stacking the front of B door just in case. Boo is sitting with the spike, but he plops it down by pillars. That kind of is the direction they're thinking about. Turret on the other side there. I mean, it has been the consistent position. I've seen Heretics clear it with a nano before with Benji. So they pinged it out again, so I suspect that that's something that they're going to be diligent about here, but you can see YU ready and waiting with his ult. Wants to try to shut them out of his sight, and here goes a Nightfall.
Just on a timing. Bit of information going to be gathered there. This does allow for Heretics to just pump the brakes a little bit. Slow down the approach. This is going to be a showstopper.
30 seconds left.
Sent out here from Mini Boo. There's answering showstopper going to be set, but Mini Boo, he's ahead of the curve on this one. Juicy taken down. Lockdown's going to be exchanged here on both sides. Fed Baby able to find 1. The spray on the Odin, only going to be good for a singular kill. Woot dead, but Spring still playing forward here. Rotates around the back and catches Boo unaware.
The time!
The detain is there, but the time is certainly not. Penchy Fishy just now picks it up, but the round was already done and dusted once again. The clock betrays Heretics, and Wolves now find themselves at match point.
That is just wild. I mean, tremendous patience being shown by Wolves, but they're playing B so much of this round. I mean, Juicy and CU Fat are just ready the whole time at the connector. And then the cross lockdown. Spring is able to spring forward. And the infinitely sharp knife of time cuts the Heretics again.
Shadows traveling.
The Chinese third seed looking to take down EMEA second. Heretics need 3 rounds in a row to force this into overtime. For the opportunity, the chance to try to then take us to Ascent. Nanoswarm's coming through.
Oh,
Miniboo gonna be getting cooked as Yuko is able to find 2. Tufat Baby finds Rienz. It's just Miniboo and Benji Fishy against the world. Juicy in the corner. Reload necessary. Spike in hand here. Where do they try to go? Tap on the door to try to instill some doubt. Is smoke going to be cycled over?
Seems like Wolves are going to give them the opportunity to get the plant potentially. But when are they going to make their move? They're not giving them the opportunity to find any freebies.
Either side with much util. But Miniboo dead. Benji Fishy, 10 HP. Versus 3. 30 seconds. Even with a pivot onto the B side, they're going to be able to re-wrap. He's going to try to fake it out, but they have a numbers advantage. Juicy scaling forward, makes some noise. Benji Fishy hears it, and he cannot make it happen. 13-9, 2-0 fashion here in the Great White North. Wolves are the apex predator as they eliminate Heretics from Master Toronto.
Unbelievable. The performance that this team put on today, absolutely incredible. And CU Fat almost falling to his knees. Who would have thought that the number 3 seed from China would take down the number 2 seed from EMEA in 2-0 fashion? Incredible stuff. Hot starts on both maps, and they are able to close it out. This team looks damn good, and they are looking to see if they can find their way into the playoffs.
Commiserations for Heretics, but elation here for the Wolves. What an incredible showing from playing Sen close to getting the 2-0 here today.